All right, now it's time for one of my favorite segments. It's called Why Did Tottenham Suck So Bad? Tim? No, Tottenham weren't terrible. They weren't terrible in the first half. They didn't do enough, and I think they thought they were going to do better in the second half, but then they were worse in the second half. It not like they were terrible. They weren't Fulham. They just didn't have it.
They were completely out of sync in the first half.
Yeah, there's a disconnect in Tottenham, and I felt that about them for a while now. They're not as good as the sum of their parts. I mean, you look at them on paper, and they've got some really good players, but they just never seem to kind of perform. They've had moments in the past where they have, and seasons where they have, but the past couple of seasons they've looked really out of sync. I just wanted to say about Everton, the Toffees. I mean, their midfield very impressive. The new midfield acquisitions, incredible.
Yeah.
James was, I thought, amazing. I thought he was one of the top, performances as far as new acquisitions were concerned over the weekend. I thought that play that Doucouré made on Lucas Moura was amazing. I mean, that pairing back, that sort of defensive midfield pairing between Allan and Doucouré is going to pay dividends in the future. I think they're, up front, like Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, and they look good. I think for this Everton team could be a top 10 type team.
Yeah,
I will say Everton is legit.
Yeah,
I really believe as the season goes on, as they gel, they're going to be even better.
I mean, they have 4 midfielders, 3 of them that are like new within the last week, play with each other as if they've been playing together for months.
Strong. Really strong.
That midfield was dominant. I mean, absolutely dominant. It was surprising that it gelled so quickly.
Yeah,
it was good. It was an impressive performance, I thought.
I don't know that they can play that midfield against everyone. That like they look a little bit narrow when you have James on the wing, like actually kind of playing as a wing. He doesn't want to stay out wide. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin don't want to stay out wide.
Well, they started him on the wing, but it seemed
it became like a 4-2 diamond after a while.
Yeah. Well, it seemed to me that they allowed him to go wherever he wanted.
Which means you need Digne and who's the right back now? Is it Sidibe still? I should remember this. Attacking, which means their center backs could become exposed over time. It's good. I think they're a team that's going to have to vary their lineup against the very best. Allan, even though he's a defensive midfielder, he's kind of a box-to-box.
Yeah.
Same with Doucouré. Doucouré was attacking a lot for Watford last year. They look great. They shuttle the ball.
Yeah.
They're, Gomez is back and healthy after being, injured for a lot of last year.
Yeah.
But
I think Pickford might lose them a game or two, a match or two this year. I'm not sold on Pickford.
He had a great game. He had a very, very good game, I felt.
He did make a couple stops. That's what I'm saying, where Tottenham had the opportunity to tie it up, to take the lead, to...
Mourinho will not last the season the way they look today. They will not last the season. He's blaming
a Spurs fan over here going, please,
the loss
no.
on COVID. Everyone had to deal with COVID.
Wait, what?
He is blaming the Spurs loss on COVID, that his team didn't have enough time to gel together. This guy had one practice. This guy had a half a practice. This guy was out 15 days. Everyone is dealing with that.
James showed up 2 days ago. James showed up 2 days ago. What are you talking about?
The thing that about Mourinho is that traditionally he's been known for at least having a very organized defense, and that whatever team he's coaching, whether it was Inter, whether it was Real Madrid, Chelsea, not giving up a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Tottenham's given up a lot of goals under his reign. It seems like, this was only 1, but it's usually 2. And their center back pairing, Alderweireld, Davinson Sanchez, like, that's a good pairing. Like, why they're giving up these goals.
How Calvert-Lewin comes flying in out of nowhere and nobody sees him.
Yeah.
He can't, The dude was like a rocket. Like there's nobody even just standing there.
Yeah.
That
that ball was perfectly placed.
Yeah.
And you called out your goal of the week. That's my goal of the week.
It's hard for me to give a corner kick as a goal of the week.
That to me, that was so pretty though.
The header was amazing. It was great, but it's hard for me to give goal of the week
perfectly
too.
Placed.
And the thing with Ancelotti is he's not married to any one set of tactics. He's not a incredibly technical coach, but he's an incredible man manager. And basically, a year ago, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was going nowhere.
Nowhere, yeah.
In the second half of that season, and obviously the beginning of this season, he's got the confidence of a 20-goal striker. Yeah. That is what Ancelotti brings to the side.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. I remember Ancelotti and Arteta started on the same day, and we played each other.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see the two of them going on, making huge changes to their teams and seeing how they both do.
Yeah, I mean, I think like their max is maybe 5th. I think their min is like 9th. I think they're a top half no matter what this year.
Okay, next week Tottenham have.
Anyone?
Nobody knows
Bueller?
And nobody cares.
They have Southampton, and I think Southampton wins. Danny Ings scores. One goal, 1-0.
1-0. I'll take that.
I'd like to see Southampton win that. I don't like Tottenham either. So yeah, I'd go with Danny. I'd go with Danny Ings with a brace.
Yeah. All right. And Everton have
West Brom.
Another new team that did not. I think they were hard done. West Brom. I think they were playing all right, and then they let it get out of hand. And Chelsea's clearly a much better team, but I don't see them beating Everton. If Everton comes out with any sort of the same spirit that they did last week.
Yeah, I mean, West Brom needs some goals at striker. They've been linked with Carlin Grant from Huddersfield, who scored 19 goals in the championship. He's really good, 22-year-old, pacey, can play wing, can play striker. That hasn't gone through yet. There's no way that they can score enough goals, I think, to beat Everton. I think it's Everton 2-0.
And I think Everton take that one. I'm going to say 2-0.
Oh yeah, I think Everton. I would go 2 or 3-0. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
3-0.
3-0.
They're going to score.
West Brom.
No. Everton 3-0. Richarlison's going to correct some of those errors.
Richarlison was really pissed he didn't score.
He could have had a couple of goals.
Yeah.
Easily.
He was very mad he didn't score. And I think James and Richarlison are going to create a little bit of a relationship, because James was trying with some curling passes that just they weren't on the same page yet. But once again, James had been there 2 days.
Are we going to have a Theo Walcott sighting?
I don't think we're going to have a Theo Walcott or Alex Iwobi sighting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for Tottenham Everton. Moving on. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed our picks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, James. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Chris. See you next week.